personality. Is
Yes,
that true?
very. So people are divided under 12 zodiacs, right? And each zodiac, like we know, most people know about that, Aries to Pisces, right?
Right.
So they have their own traits, those people, which are mostly true. Because there are other factors involved too. Also, it's not that general that a specific Aries or a Pisces or a Libra will behave only that way. These other planets also influence his mind and his thoughts. So that can change a little bit. But in general, it works.
Okay. So when someone says, oh, you were born when Venus was rising, I don't even know. What does that mean?
It means the zodiac behind the sun.
Okay.
Like I said, the universe is divided into like a wheel, you can say, like, you know. So this wheel has 12 segments divided into 12 zodiacs, just like a year is divided into 12 months. Right? So the rising sign is the sign which is behind the sun.
So what does a rising sign mean?
The zodiac that is behind the sun in the universe at the time of that month.
Oh, okay.
So the person born in that particular from day to the month, whatever zodiac is rising means behind the sun.
Okay.
So that becomes his rising sign. That tells the personality of the person.
Oh, okay. Like their true character.
Yes.
Strong character trait.
Like we say, Aries are very dashing, you know, go-getters. And we say Libras are very balanced in their thoughts.
Okay, I always thought a Libra had double personality. Or they can justify both sides of a situation. Is that true?
Saying double personality is not that accurate to say, put it that way. More balanced, like seeing both the sides and then making the judgment. So they're very fair with the judgments. They don't bias themselves.
Oh, that's good. So they can, because they're so good at seeing both sides.
Yes, and they're very fair with the judgment. They don't do any biasing, you know.
Okay, so if let's say someone wants to understand who they are, or maybe even share with their partner who they are to understand themselves better, how do you get started? How do you learn more about yourself based on astrology?
See, astrology has always played a very important role for human lives to help them have a good future in their lives and understanding. And of course, knowledge, we all know that of anything helps us to have a better life.
Okay.
So astrology has done that, and it has been recognized in the king's courts, like from ages, as you know. Even till today, like people, politicians or big industrialists, or they all respect this science.
Right.
Because it's a very true science, it proves itself.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about me?
Well, that's very easy for me because I have the knowledge about this. So,
are you psychic too?
Psychicness or intuition, these both things go with astrology.
Okay.
So being an astrologer, one has to have the planets that he have to be born with to have certain intuitions also.
Okay.
But if we term something like psychic, the real meaning of psychic is like somebody can see, like for real, like you're watching TV or you're watching a movie, right? Incidents like that.
Okay.
Which is very rare in the world. It is there, but very, very rare.
Right.
But astrologers mostly use the term psychic because people understand that term more.
Okay.
Right? And just like tarot card readings, people understand
do you do that as well?
No, I don't do tarot card reading.
You don't need any of that?
I don't need all that.
Okay.
I'm more better with my astrology knowledge.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about myself.
Yeah, talking about you, like I obviously see you involved in the TV shows and Western media.
Oh, good.
So that tells me that, so, well, at present you're doing that.
Yes,
and
I am
in the
doing
past you've been doing that, right? So that tells me that your Venus has to be very strong. Because Venus is the only planet that involves a person into media work.
Oh, okay.
Right? And artwork like dancing, theater, movies. And along with that, because when you're in the media, so naturally you gain popularity in the community around. So the planet Sun has to be also there. So we have seen, like if I would say that people who are involved with this, they're very ambitious from childhood. I won't be wrong about you.
Right. No, you wouldn't. Okay. But couldn't these things be just generally assumed? What would you say to those people who don't really take astrology seriously?
You see, in astrology, it explains, like we talked before, behavior pattern. So there are certain planets, like for instance Mercury. If a person is influenced by Mercury planet, the person belongs tend to be more practical in life.
Okay.
So he believes mostly like what he does or what we do that's the result we get.
Okay.
So if there are any downfalls, that means is the result of their own doings, right?
Okay.
They just like they would believe in God, but for them God is just like in the church or in a temple. It has nothing to do in the day-to-day life of human lives.
Okay.
We make our own choices. That's what people who are influenced by Mercury, they believe like that. It's more practical.
Practical.
Then on the other side, there are people who are influenced by Jupiter, Saturn. These people have the beliefs for all the ancient sciences. They have respect for the ancient sciences. So we are all born with that.
Okay.
Apart from all this discussion, like I would say, it takes knowledge and understanding. So if we have knowledge about something, then I think is the right thing, fair enough to judge that and comment on that.
Okay.
But mostly people commenting on things, I don't think they have much knowledge about it.
Because you're saying that the planets do have, and their alignment have a lot to do. They have a huge influence on our personality. Okay.
Yes.
So, and how do you select an astrologist? How would you know?
That's a very important and a very good question. And I've been always, like over 18 years, I'm doing astrology here in Brampton. I've always educated my clients and people in general also, even my friends.
Okay.
Very important to find a fairly good astrologer.
Okay.
Means who doesn't manipulate you.
I'm sorry to cut you off, we're running out of time, but we have lots more coming up on Daytime right after this quick break.